Hey, this is Julie Mintz, and you're listening to Dash Radio.
Welcome to the world of music.
Discover new music. Do you want to be the first to know? Pay attention. This is Dash Daily Discovery with DJ Hapa.
Yep, you know it. It's that time again. Daily Discovery. My name is DJ Hapa. Julie Mintz, is in the building. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad to have you in here. I'm excited to have you. You've got this song called The Sorrow Tree.
Yes, I do.
We're going to get into that. You've got an album coming this year. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, September, I have Abandon All Hope of Fruition.
Amazing.
We're just finishing it up.
Amazing. I want to talk to you about that. Obviously, I want to talk to you about the single and all of this. But first, we need to sort of reintroduce you to everybody that's out there that's tuned in right now. You were born and raised in Texas, in Corpus Christi.
Yes, I'm from a small town in Texas on the Gulf of Mexico. Born and raised. My family's still there. Listened to a lot of country music growing up there.
Why does country get a bad rap? Like, I mean, in certain circles, like people will be like, I like everything except for country. Like, why is that?
I don't know. Okay, maybe that's like modern day radio country that's
Right.
kind of done that weird like rock country thing. But classic country, like Emmylou Harris, June Carter Cash, Dolly Parton, that how can you hate on that? It's amazing.
Right. And I mean, some of the best songwriting
Oh, yeah.
ever. Yeah.
That's what I love about country music, really, is like it's always a story. I think that's
yeah,
what's
for
beautiful
sure.
about country music. That's how I like to write my songs.
And tell me what got you started with all of that. I mean, like what's your earliest memory of music and singing and all of that?
Well, I mean, really growing up, like I sang in choir and I took piano lessons. But actually, I was really, I had stage fright and I was really scared to perform. So even when I was taking piano lessons, like I had to have my mom go talk to my piano teacher and ask her if I could not do the recitals, but still take lessons. So I never really wanted to play in front of people, but I always just loved music.
And where did that change? Because I'm sure that there's plenty of people that are out there that have that same stage fright. I mean, like it's people's like number one fear is speaking or performing in front of other people. Like that's
and I
number
always
one fear.
thought for a long time, like this must mean that I'm not supposed to be an artist. And it was actually really encouraging to me when I heard that like Barbara Streisand has stage fright, Carly Simon, like some really talented people. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not good at it just because you have that sort of fear. I think it is kind of natural.
And
some
how did
people.
it change for you? Like, because
Well-
obviously you're going to perform for us even live here on the radio.
I know, it's true. I mean, I think it was really actually just that my love of music sort of was overriding that. But it's not like my fear really went away. And actually, I'd say like getting to play with a bigger artist sort of in the background of his band helped a lot because I got to be on stage and doing it a lot, but not really being the center of attention.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like exposure therapy.
Right. You're just like, you're like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, but like not everybody's really looking at me.
Right. You're
Yeah.
like, but you're on stage still, and there are people that are looking at you, but not everybody. You're not the focal point.
Yes.
So talk to me now about this transition of being now the focal point.
Yeah. So I've been playing shows and doing it for a long time, but I'd say that it had been a struggle being a solo artist. I think that's true for most solo artists, like really getting out there and building your fan base and stuff. But I really want people to hear my songs, and I feel like I have something to say with them. So I guess it's worth it to put myself out there.
You're like, I guess it's worth it. I've got to do it. It's almost like, I mean, I appreciate this. You're forcing yourself into that space, which I think is important. Like sometimes we need to do things that make us a little bit scared. And but it's better. Like that's how you grow.
Yes, it's true.
I think that's an Eleanor Roosevelt quote, if I'm not mistaken, which is to do something every day that scares you a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I feel like, that's otherwise I would just be like at home writing songs in my bedroom and never letting anyone hear them.
Yeah.
It'd be a little sad.
Yeah, and you never know. Like, oftentimes I feel like we don't know what we actually would like. Right? Like, how do you know? You don't know until you actually try something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, my God, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even when I was driving here today to have this interview with you, and like I kind of had butterflies in my stomach, and I was like, would I rather just be at home today? Like,
you almost turned around. I'm glad you didn't call in sick for this.
And I was like, no, just go and do it, and like you'll probably be happy that you did it, and it'll be a good experience.
Right. I feel the same way about going to the gym.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
Right? Like I hate it. I'm just like I can't do this.
I haven't really gotten over the hump of going to the gym. That's only happens like once a month.
Well, hey, I mean that's in some months that's better than me. Well, I want to get into the music that you've created here. You've got this album that is coming. I want to talk more about the album, but I want to start with this song, "The Sorrow Tree." We're going to play the studio version. Tell me a little bit more about the song "The Sorrow Tree" and why and what this means to you, what this song means to you.
So "The Sorrow Tree" is actually written and produced by the artist Moby. Mm-hmm. And I started playing in Moby's band like 5 years ago. And he's been a really huge supporter of my music. He produced my first EP, which was an incredible opportunity for me.
Right. Like who can say that Moby's produced their first EP? Like
I know.
That's insane.
I know.
Yeah.
I was so lucky. So I write all of my own songs, and that's like a really big part of it for me because, songwriting is the part where I get to express my inner world. Mm-hmm. But Moby had written this song, "The Sorrow Tree," for his album, and he was looking for a female vocalist to sing it on his album. And I came in and he had me do it. And then he was like, I know you're working on your album. It might be cool to have an acoustic version of this song on your album. So we recorded that and kind of put it aside as an option. And it actually ended up that the themes of this song, even though he wrote it, really fit in with like a lot of the themes of sort of like longing for love, waiting for a lost lover. Those are a lot of things that I tend to write about. So it really fit in well with the other songs that are going to be on my record.
It was meant to be.
It was.
Very nice. Well, I want to play the song here. You're also going to play this acoustic live for us here in studio in moments. But first, we're going to play the studio version of "The Sorrow Tree." Do not go anywhere. We've got Julie Mintz hanging out with us here in studio. Here it is, "The Sorrow Tree," right here on Dash.
My love, and he'll know where
new music and new artists. The Dash Daily Discovery with DJ Hapa.
Julie Mintz is here. We are talking The Sorrow Tree. That was her song that we just played right there, the acoustic version of The Sorrow Tree. You are also going to play an acoustic version here live in studio in just a moment.
Yeah.
We were talking, though, about how this path could be much, much different for you, Julie Mintz. You could be Dr. Julie Mintz.
I could.
Right?
You know, actually, I am Dr. Julie Mintz. There's a TV show.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
a friend of mine is a TV writer, and he named a character Dr. Julie Mintz.
Well,
but it didn't happen in real life.
Right.
I know. I majored in neuroscience in college, and I was going to go to medical school. But
and you got all the way to, like, you told me you were working in a hospital.
yeah,
And that's when you realized this just was not for you.
yes, I was working in an oncology ward when I was in college, studying neuroscience, and I just realized I was way too sensitive. I would come home every day from the hospital and cry. I call it my quarter life crisis because I was like on this path
Right.
to having that career, and I was like, I think that I'm on the wrong path, and I have to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And I sort of looked back, like, what had I done as a kid that made me happy? And I had always played music and really loved playing piano and writing songs. So
That's incredible. I mean, that's such a success story in my mind of like somebody who, you know, there's plenty of people that experience something like that, but then just kind of forge ahead and are just like, but I've gone all this way already. I've put in all of this work. I just need to do this.
yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, I was almost done with college. I think I was like a junior in college at that point. So, and I was like, okay, well, I can't change my major at this point. So I actually was really lucky that I had this sort of love for music that I could fall back on and try to make a career out of. Otherwise, yeah, I probably would be Dr. Julie Mintz.
Right. Which would, I mean, who knows? There's a lot of life left to live. Who knows?
My parents would be so much happier.
I'm sure they're very proud of what you've been able to accomplish.
They're okay with it. Yeah.
Right. They're accepting of it.
They are, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Very interesting, though. I think of all of the different paths like one could take, and you know, I think that that's such a mature way of like looking at this and saying, "Hey, wait, hold on. What did I truly love? Let me find a way to do that." I mean, this has not been an easy road by any means. I mean, most people that are out there, I think, who are not necessarily in the industry, you know, see this glamorous story of, oh, you have this voice, and like, of course you would then pursue this, and of course now you've got a song that's being played on the radio, or that you've got an album coming out. It seems so easy,
Right.
one would think. You know,
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about some of the struggles of being a rising artist.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it's like that story of like it's when it's an overnight success that's taken 15 years.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I've played so many shows where 10 people showed up, and
You were lucky to have 10 people show up. I mean, there's times where there's zero.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, when I met Moby and he started supporting my career, I was living in this like crappy little rental house, and it happened to be across the street from a castle, which is very weird, but that's LA.
Wait, a rental house across from a castle?
Yes.
What castle? Where's this castle?
This is in Beechwood Canyon,
Okay.
which is like one canyon over from Laurel Canyon.
Yeah.
And there's just like a bunch of different styles of houses. And I lived in a little tiny rental house that was like so sideways on the hill that you sort of had to hold on to the towel rack in the bathroom, or else you would like fall over into the corner.
Wow.
It was the whole house was so slanted, but it was in the shadow of a big castle. And the castle was empty for years while I lived there. And then I heard that somebody bought it, and Moby bought it.
Ah.
And we became friends because he was my neighbor, and it was like a long friendship. And then he would give me songwriting advice and asked me to sing backup for him on the Tonight Show one day, which was a big surprise.
Wow.
So,
And that was the first time that you had sang with Moby, like on a big stage?
Yes.
Right.
He was just my neighbor. And then he just sent me an email one day saying, "Hey, I need a background singer for the Tonight Show. Are you available?
He sent you an email. Why? He should have just walked over to the slanted house and knocked on the door.
I know, that's true. That's true. He's really big into email, though.
He's like in the other room. He's in the other room and he's emailing you.
Yeah, we basically shared the same Wi-Fi. Our houses were so close together,
Wow.
so the email was convenient.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. What a story that is.
I know. So that was I just got lucky, but it took like 10 years for that luck to fall on my slanted doorstep.
How many times did you think about, or do you ever think about what would have been or what could have been if, things went different?
Yeah, I don't really
That was a huge exhale, by the way.
I do not like to think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'd still be playing shows for 10 people. Probably. I don't even know if I would have made an album, honestly, because I was playing shows with Moby, and he would be gracious enough to come see when I would play my little shows, come see me play. And
he'd be person number 9.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Nice.
And he was eventually like, you have a lot of really good songs. Why have you never made an album? And I was just like, I don't know, I don't have a record deal yet, and that part of the business confuses me. And he was like, okay, I'm going to produce an album for you. So I don't know what would have happened.
Right. I feel like mentorship in this industry is such an important component of growth for artists, for even people behind the music. I feel like, this is still an industry in which having a mentor, having like a physical person that is helping you along the way and helping to sort of guide you and somebody that you can learn from their success, learn from their mistakes. Like I feel like that is still so important in our industry, and in some industries that doesn't really exist as much. But would you agree with that?
I 100% agree. It has been for me. I mean, I think that there are some people maybe that are they maybe understand the business side of it better, but I feel like I'm such an artist. Like the only part that I really understand is just like being in my bedroom and writing songs, and the rest of it, I sort of need somebody that's done it before me to say like, okay, this is how you do it.
Right.
So yeah.
And somebody that you can trust.
Yes. And somebody that's had success at it, so that when he says like, okay, this would be a good way to do it, I'm like, okay, well, you did it that way and it worked out well, so I'm going to trust that.
I'm wondering, what I'm thinking about now is where the opportunities are with my neighbors. I'm now wondering what my neighbors do now.
I'm telling you, LA is a great place for neighbors.
I know. Who knows?
You need to bake some pies and knock on some doors.
Is that what you did? Did you bake a pie and bring it over to the castle?
No, I didn't actually. But
I think at
maybe
the very,
we need to do that.
At the very least, we need to do that. I mean, who knows, right? Who knows what can happen? Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this album that you're putting together, Abandon All Hope of Fruition.
Yes.
What is the whole album? What is the theme of the album?
So the theme of the album is really about letting go of expectations. That's sort of what Abandon All Hope of Fruition means. It's really like abandon the hope that everything's going to work out the way that you want it to work out. And just be in the present and just be okay with the way that things are right now. And I think that that's been a really big thing that I've struggled with. And a lot of the songs on the album are really like a big struggle for me has been my love life. And so that's something that I write about a lot, and like yearning for love and waiting for it. And so I've been lately trying to be in the mindset of like, what if I was just happy with where I am and not like waiting for things to be different? And so that's really what the title of the album is talking about.
I feel like that's such a great theme. I feel like there's so many people that struggle with that, of just, why isn't this happening? Why is and you're so
I'd be
focused on
happy if I had this.
Totally. You're focused on the wrong thing. You're focused on what you don't have versus what you do have, right? And this whole idea of accepting that. And like all of us, I mean, how blessed are all of us? Like we get a chance to, we're here right now talking about your forthcoming album.
Like, I just be happy with that?
Right.
But it's so hard to be like, when people say like, oh, do a gratitude list. Like,
yeah, right.
I want to be so annoyed and be like, no, I'm not happy with these things that I don't have. But yes, it has to be like a daily reminder to try to be appreciative of the things that I do have instead of focusing on the things that I don't have. And so to just be like, let go of any hope that like in the future you're going to have anything else. And I mean, you are
right. At face value, that sounds crazy.
It sounds horrible. It
Right.
sounds like so depressing. But if you really were like, hey, what if you didn't get anything else than what you have right now? Like, you have some okay things already. And like, P.S., other good things are going to happen.
Right.
But stop holding on to it and expecting it.
Right. It's so true. I like that. There's so many things. There's so many thoughts that this is provoking, which is great. Which is, I feel like what music should do is to do that, and really get people thinking and get people feeling and all of that. So we're very excited about the album that is coming, Abandon All Hope of Fruition, coming later this year. The Sorrow Tree out everywhere. Yes, now. Video's coming, though.
Yeah, video's coming. Moby has an electronic version June 25th, and then my version is, his is June 22nd, mine is June 25th.
For the videos.
Yeah, the videos.
Yes, very exciting. And then you're going to play us out here with a live version of The Sorrow Tree. I want to remind everybody you can listen back to this entire interview on my website, hapaworld.com. I've got links back to Julie Mintz. She's at Julie Mintz on Instagram and Twitter. You can find her also on Spotify as well. Just type in Julie Mintz with a Z. I'm sure people screw that up probably over the phone, right?
Oh, I always have to say like peppermints with a Z.
Like peppermints with a Z. Yeah. There it is. Without further ado, you're going to play us out here. The Sorrow Tree live in studio. Julie, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me. This was so nice.
Anytime you've got new stuff, feel free to bring it by. And especially if you've baked a pie, my door is always open for a freshly baked pie, by the way. Yes, best of luck with everything else that's coming up for you. We like to end the show usually by saying this: music is life and life is good. Have a great one tomorrow, guys. We will see you later.
Tell my love and he'll know where he will come and meet me there. Oh, he'll wait for me beneath the sorrow tree. Ooh, beneath the sorrow tree. Ooh, beneath the sorrow tree. Tell my love I'm waiting there. Oh, and he'll know where. My love will mourn for me beneath the sorrow tree. Ooh, 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 beneath the sorrow